Okay, so here we are going to start talking concepts regarding defaulting for Ascent. There's going to be two um, types of defaults that we're going to get, and kind of places to go from there, and then talk about execs and Mac stuff. So the first default to mention is something that's more geared toward getting control of this midsection. Killjoy has one of two turrets to kind of place. One is going to be up here on this box, which is going to be a pretty common spot if we're not. Just to have the turret watch here, and it's also slightly angled, kind of watch into the tiles. This is useful for if Killjoy is on like the weak side of the map, right? Say we have here. This helps watch both places, back or it's like in this corner or something. Another thing that Killjoy can do is to walk up towards main, drop the turret right here in this corner, and this will basically act as just a man to watch here. And we can, if this sits down and it doesn't have anyone to destroy it, then we know that this area is clear except for this section, depending on what it is. And if there's an op here, standing right here, they're gonna have to shoot that. Right? Thing to consider technically, if Killjoy places a little bit too far, op sits like tucks, there is a possibility of getting wrecked. So just have to tuck up against this corner spot. And then in here, there is a couple of things. Sova can either be over here or start as the darts these areas to kind of open up this space to be scale and contest. Omen will put a smoke here, and KO has the chuck a knife, and it would arc way up and on top of market, trying to get clears up market, clears up pizza. Doesn't quite catch this area over here, but that is what the Sova dart will see. What the KO is going to do, is going to sit right here up in this corner, tuck right up against it, and is going to pull up the knife, line up the UI, so this way this area right here, that tip is touching this pole here in this corner. And what's going to happen is this, just giving it a quick toss will get it to land. So from here, what we'll do is just going to assume Sova's over here. If not, Sova can be here and watch the push here. Or can help fight in here. That needs to happen. Right? Sova would probably not push until we make some sort of contact with these two people. And begin to scale up to control in this mid area. We'll add, so this is obviously dependent on what we find from our util pieces that we throw out. If we say, okay, well, we found nobody, we can take the space for free, or we found 3 people, or if we find 1 or 2, I mean, you just kind of figure out what we can figure there. These 2 people begin to come in. KO can chuck a nade, flash over this wall. If we are using Sky instead, then we can just kind of do the same. Chuck a bird right over top, around this corner, get the flash. Sova can just sit right here. After that falls out, Sova can peek, and then deep, try to fight, or can watch this area. As these guys scale up, and Sova's over here too, or even if Sova's not here, Killjoy can also come up here into tiles, giving the turret up because the location, and can just stare at the smokes. We have the ability to throw a drone. We can tuck Sova into this corner. Sova's playing tiles at the. You can tuck right here. Throw the drone up and over, and kind of out these corners. scale into here. The entire time, I'm kind of jump peeking, just watching this orb, see if it pushes out, kind of uses info. Technically, it's just sit and watch. This is just the basic default that we out here. And from here, we have to decide based off info or whatever it picks or whoever's live what we're going to do next. We have the ability to turn this into the split. You can have Omen smoke here and smoke here. Jet just throws a smoke as while they're running across. Flash into here and begin to get these two guys to scale in the market. And then Sova / Sky would, Sova, what is always Sova? So Sova is always going to come back towards this way. If they still have the drone, then they can drone out through main. If we don't have the turret that's aggressive into, if the then Killjoy can follow and what's up. Directly before droning, that's when we want to throw a dart. Recon dart somewhere here. You chuck through here. Stand over here. You can shoot a dart that lands back here. There's some sort of like tree that you can shoot. It's great through here. Whatever we want to do. Honor besides as a lineup for. Doesn't have to get too crazy, not too fancy, simple. Just to kind of get the scans, right? After the dart's thrown, we drone up and scale up, and hopefully out at the same time. Come in and control this mid space for a little. Begin to work way either the main to come on. Now that's what we would want to do. Your B split. Very easy for us to decide to turn this into an A split, where we have KO and Jet along here. Omen flash to get people in to tree based off of the flash. We have drone out through here. Check the beginning entrances. Smoke here. If there's a second smoke available, throw it here. And scale in. We have the KO flash, can chuck it in. KO nade in here. Scale in together. Put the plant down. Get this bomb planted. And Killjoy would end up being the person that comes later, running across mid, into tree, get into sight. So I'm going to mention that these are just default scenarios, right? These are not full execs, everything we do. This is obviously all not taking into account a single ultimate that we may or may not have, right? If Killjoy has ultimate, might decide that B rush or an A rush, and AO has ultimates, right? We can play off of those two because those are the two big ones for getting onto site. From there, we would change up our plans. So if you did catch the end of the last video that I had mentioned, a big part of the defaults is the fact that we're roughly controlling both mains and also trying to mid. We have both your B main pressure if we push the turret up, or just something watching it with the turret, and a little bit of control too. Just watching the orb, right? This gives us the ability to stop any rotates that might gives us a point of pressure into mid to be able to open up the map to go where. So a second place that we different Killjoy will be playing weak side, so probably throw it right here and back or tucked into this corner or something. And instead of putting the tiles, a main default here. So basic default for towards a main instead of going mid is we just huck a dart somewhere into mid. Get the killjoy over here. We have this scanning. Chuck a knife here, somewhere further back here to just push whoever's might be holding this angle. And if we decide, that's one thing KO can do. The other thing KO can do, chuck a flash over this corner. I don't know any lineups getting it so it pops perfectly right here, but something that can be done. Omen can just DP across. We can jet smoke if they do one ways or whatever, and just kind of run into here, control the space, contest the space. This is pretty easy to get the space if they're not heavily fighting main. And if we wanted to too, we could maybe swap it up a little bit. Have Killjoy come in, so this way Killjoy can grab the orb to grab ultimate point. It's a her ult for whatever exactly we decide we want to do. If we're getting close, and just throw the Sova over here, and so chuck a dart here or chuck a dart into mid still, and there. So from here, we got two options, main options, kind of three options. We can either turn this into an A exec, or we can run all the way back to B main and exec B main. If we wanted to, we could try to test mid, throwing smokes in locations to begin to walk up cat. Do this. We throw flashes over, try to get across, something like that. But those are the main ideas that we would. So in this scenario too, the Killjoy is the one that's far away from A. So Killjoy would be kind of our a little bit more lurk, a little bit later the play. This does mean that we're not playing with Killjoy set up onto A, but just defaults we have minute 40 on the clock. We have plenty of time to bring Killjoy all the way back. Alright, so in a situation that we're deciding that we want to do in a exec, I'm just going to bring all 5 people, just running straight through a main. Probably not the most successful of things for us to try to do. Probably better to come in through here or something, but if we just have a Killjoy ultimate, like what's the counterplay to that? Having Killjoy util to just kind of watch the flank or some such is going to be good and useful. And I mean, we've already discussed how to someone off of here. We have KO flash, we have KO knife. Just shoot a recon dart over, shock dart it if we want to just push the guy right off. All this stuff to begin to get control here. Turret, I'm just gonna drop the turret right here. So here, it's gonna be the simple. Chuck a smoke here, chuck a smoke here. Get some sort of dart onto this wall, up into heaven, up above Gen, shout whoever's Gen. If we're doing a Gen smoke, something that will watch whoever's here, then we would do Omen flash here. Have info that someone's Gen, we would flash here for the deck. Just chucking a knife somewhere onto site, probably into dice. Let me drop that. Be a little easier. Chuck the knife over here towards dice. That's gonna get like all site, and you don't need anything else really. Because this isn't so much for info at this point. This is for suppression effects. So get as much effect out of it as we can. So just chuck it right at the dice. And we scale up, try to see what we can kill the bomb down, and we're good to go. I don't know what we have for lineups Sova, but these are the two plant spots we're probably going to do right in front of Jen and then right in front of dice. Technically, this is another spot which is right here, where this is the good sight lines from main, and it's still decently safe. It's not exposed to tree at all, not super exposed to heaven, but when it comes to lineups, I doubt we have any. At this point, it's just going to be blindly hucking stuff over to try to stop them from defusing. Scenario 2 would probably be Omen's job to come over here and hit the switch. If not, Sova's. Obviously, if Omen has the bomb, then bomb is more important. Omen has the ability also to TP directly Gen to scale up faster with Jet and KO, and we can move on from there. So in a situation where we are lucky enough to have Killjoy lockdown, go for a nice Killjoy lockdown in this corner, common. So reason why I'm mentioning this is there is a specific play that I have seen and would like to try to do. If they haven't smoked a main, it would probably end up actually smoking it here myself. Do is just huck our util up into heaven, and between the dart and the what's going to happen is Omen's going to TP this just like that, walk up here, chuck the paranoia, and as I mentioned in the other video, this is hell, this is heaven. What I do it here, I'm going to get it here. It is possible to aim it so this this flash blinds both, because it just needs to clip them. It doesn't matter if it clips their big toe, they get blind. So Omen aims it, chucks it over, and then because this is the only area of this map, of this site that is safe, it's off of Bolt. Here it chucks the paranoia. They're all blind now, and it's not like we have to worry about team flashes or anything with this. So we have a very, very easy time killing whoever. Then we can scale up into sight and just their faces. So in a situation where we're deciding to be exec, we probably still doing the Killjoy turret over here. We can throw one over here after they main. See them, but some sort of turret watching this area. Have a couple things that we can do when scaling it B. So obviously this also depends. This may be exec may be from going off of a default too that we are changing up a little bit, and maybe we have the Killjoy turret up here. So this again gives us that decent information, and we can scale up pretty freely. We can even just walk up if this is firing anybody and wasn't destroyed. We have it just sitting here watching towards the mid to watch for some rotations or whatever. We can do is if we do need to contest for the space, I should say, we can shoot a drone up, kind of walk around. Again, we have one drone, just once, so using it is probably going to be wherever we're hitting. This is assuming we haven't already used to control mid or whatever, right? Other option, just huck a flash, pop somewhere in this area and then peek off of it. Also really good. So we're going to scale up. We're going to say that we've already gotten control here, right? We have a couple of things we can do. One thing is KO can stand here. There is a knife that can be thrown that lands just above the switch. I'm gonna call this switch, right? We got boathouse, we got switch. There is a knife that can be thrown here that see a good amount. Otherwise, we can just walk up, scale up, and just chuck knife over here up against the wall or something to clear out market, clear out towards CT. Those are both perfectly fine if we are unable to kind of get that sort of boat line up right. Woman can come here, chuck a paranoia cross boat, again, and hit stairs. Maybe we want to angle it a little bit, right, and we can clear part of CT or maybe CT. So much you can hit. It's fat as it is, but you know you get the idea. And jet comes in. It can either run straight across in towards lane, or can run into boat, hit the switch. Obviously, we have this and this smoked off. So from here, we also have the three sofa darts, rough locations that we chuck these darts right, either towards backside or up the fuck this is. And Killjoy can either huck some nanoswarms into one of these two locations, right, stairs or to CT. I don't know, usually over here, right? So I'm gonna work out, figure out who what, to be able to clear out the sections to allow Jet to scale up, and then KO is probably going to be the person following Jet next, is second person. And then it's working towards hitting site, right? Whatever you still we haven't used yet, there's still somebody so we've only second one's on site, figure and it can't use to try to clear that person out. So from here, it's either going to be Sova that could come in towards mid to do their late work or try to watch if this turret's down. Or I would do it, Bowman would do it because I like to lurk, as we discussed. So that's basically our B execs here. There's one bit of call it tech that I've seen that do that's a little bit psychotic that we might want to do on like eco round where we're close to the wall, just run out, do something crazy, where this smoke is placed instead of being placed here like it normally is, so this way it stops people from out. Place it here. You can even condition randomly to do this smoke. I'm actually looking at hit B main, hit B. Can TP right in this spot here, right up against here, and has the ability to swing out or TP into this. Obviously, this is very aggressive, like kind of throwing if we're unlucky, but again, this is for eco. So we're just here to get some kills, get some damage, and do whatever we can, not necessarily to win the round. This is so the next thing to mention too, obviously, if we have Killjoy lockdown ult, that's pretty freaking strong in this site particularly. We can throw this up. We could even pair it with Omen root ability, being Boathouse or something. Or if we've noticed that they don't play Boathouse very much, then just do this by himself, based off of darts and what should we get. So yeah, this you just flood out close to the end. The only thing to consider is that they where it takes what like 12 seconds to actually pop. So these guys are gonna be running, right? We could either or they're gonna actually die on site. We have two options. We can kill them as they run away, or we can flood in to try to kill them as they're about to pop. Start getting down towards like the 4-second mark. But this does mean that they have they know that we're here, right? that means that whoever is over here has a lot of time to begin to walk. And maybe even these, right? So we do have to be a little more aware of flanks on these situations, especially because the lockdown is going to do most of the quote unquote fighting to get us onto site and get the plant. So making sure we have somebody, just some sort of watch the flank on these situations, because run into that one team that is actually doing that, then not prepared, we're going to get wrecked. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the post plant places to be. Obviously, if you have any sort of lurks, it's obviously really good. Hopefully that, but most part, if we can keep control of B main, have someone playing here, they don't even have to be sitting like right here testing the actual space. Just sitting over here in the corner as they go around, or to play purely for stop the guy diffusing, right? So if we have some guy walking down here, right, and let's say that we have a bomb here, should probably be where we're almost always placing it. Don't know if we have specific lineups over here, but over here specifically for this reason, good spot, because whoever is alive in B main has the option. Here the spike taps, spam through this wall, and get free kills. Imagine it's like a 3v3 situation, right? You get two people over here, and these guys are they come in, they take out these two guys. All right, well, where's the last guy? Maybe it's a 1v1, right? Start tapping the spike, and then you just start spamming through the very, very easy backstab spot, right? Additionally, places to kind of set up to hold, besides just generally in main. Wall access is typically some that's checked a lot, especially because it has its own call out. This angle, right, this spot right here, typically is able to get at least one person coming out of market, like a low number situation, right? Maybe it's like a 2v1 or 3v2 or something like that, and we just kind of want to get a one and done angle. Or it's when I say one and done angle, I mean spot that's like you're very have a higher chance of getting a single kill. You might die, but it's going to make it, put you in like a 2v1 something like that, or becomes a 3v1 after you get the kill. Then spots get a lot of value. So right here is really good. Right here works pretty well if you're even in a 1v1, right? Just spot here, and whoever is coming, you can hear them drop and play off of the drop. And even too, if someone's right here and another person's right here, this person here crouches, this person stays standing. You're both staring at stairs, basically in line. You get a nice little high-low setup, right? So the guy comes around the guy here, and he's just like crouched here, right? And right in line with each other. So in order for them to kill you, they have to hit this guy, recoil up, hit that guy, right? Like that's not happening. So you get these two guys right here. This is obviously a spot, but this is obviously spammable because this is spammable. Right here, you can sit right here, but the problem is a lot of people will spam this box. So if you stand, and if you're coming through here, kind of expect a guy in that spot. So if you instead stand a little bit off this way, spams probably won't hit you as much. And what's bigger is this guy comes in, okay, looks, and he can't see you because of this box here. Comes around, check in here, maybe look here. Isn't quite expecting to look here to find you. This is a weird angle, right? Who plays here? So you can easily get kills with that you know. Additionally, whatever Killjoy utility we are able to throw out, get the util. It's big. We have Omen one ways. There's here and even over here. Throwing shock darts and all that. Tucking back into Boathouse just to delay a little bit longer. If somebody throws a smoke in here, I mean, basically always correct. You just go stand by the smoke. Especially if they're dumbass and put it out like this, because then you can sneak out the way, or right. Additionally, another spot is to stand right here, right? So just gonna. So you're standing here, right? So your right foot, right? This is our. Here's the lane edge. Stand right here. You have the ability to sit in a spot where you're not actually being seen, but if you have someone kind of spotting you here, have like a till here or something, start over. You can swing this and just pop them in the head. Just little spots to kind of consider when it comes to post plant. Obviously, figure who's covering where you expect the person to be, how many, where the audio. It's like a billion situations that you. For a post plant, there's obviously 3 spots I mentioned earlier. There's the one in gen, one in front of dice, directly below heaven. That drop is bomb. Controlling main again is still really good. Just having somebody. Or obviously is time. We have a late lurk too. Whenever somebody, because to be honest, anytime people are retaking, somebody's going to try to retake. Better to play take from here than to retake from just here, right? So having a late come in here, sneaking someone in the tree, shutting the door because sitting here, expecting someone sitting here, right? Especially when this is shut. So playing over here again, having someone in the headshot angle, having people in L, all very common spots. Being another spot to mention is this little corner right here, because most of the time you come out, check in here, you check in this corner, looking towards dice, you're looking towards gen. This little corner right here isn't checked so much, so you might be able to get some cheeky kills as they run out. You're just like, bam, gotcha. So for the most part, on these post plants, there's 2 spots you're trying to fight. That is trying to stop them from coming here, coming free in heaven. Throwing our util into the choke, really big for just delaying, cycling through. Okay, all right. Killjoy nade. That's done. Killjoy other nade. Chuck this. Okay, cool. Start just blasting shock darts, right? To whatever it is that we decide we're going to do. We do need to communicate that while we're planting and whatnot, and to be able to get those kinds of plans. Just things to consider. If we throw the smoke here, it's fading or whatever, just hucking a flash right over. We can get the dart up here especially once this is done. Here, this whole wall, kind of spam through it, so we might be able to get some free kills or just free chip damage, and that makes it easier for us to get the kill later. So, yeah, so these are all the points I really have to discuss about this map. So yeah, that's everything. Hopefully you guys watched it. Hopefully it's useful. Hopefully you see. Toodles.